Welcome back to JB Reviews. I have my 2024 Chevy Silverado today. If you didn't watch the last video I did, I actually tested a 2022 with the 6-speed and the gas engine. And today we're going to pretty much compare the footage to see if this is actually a great improvement over that 6-speed. And yeah, let's kind of go through some of the features in this truck and then we'll go ahead and get down the road. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is going to be a 3500. The one I tested before was a 2500. So this is going to have a better rear axle, better payload because of the gross vehicle weight rating. So let's kind of go through the numbers really quickly. Now, as far as the gross axle in the front, the rating for that one's 4,800 pounds and the rear is 7,250. And then 11,550 is the GVWR. And then here's some of the towing numbers. And then the payload is 3,800 pounds. And this has a gross combined weight rating of 26,000 and then 16,000 pound conventional towing and then 18.3 for your Gooseneck trailer. And then here's some of the tire specs with that payload there. Now here's some of your towing features. Tow haul mode is right there. And they do provide an electronic parking brake, which we'll go over that in another video, but I prefer this to have a mechanical one. Trailer brakes down below, and you do have a gear limiter right there. Now I do have my screen set up with my tire pressure for the truck and also for the transmission temp. And something that's really cool about the new Chevys is they do give you a spot inside of here for like your trailer setup like this basically. And you can see some of that information right there, especially if you have your tire pressure monitoring set up in the trailer. It's really cool. Now I may buy some for my black trailer, but the problem is, unfortunately, Ram, Chevy, and Ford didn't get together and just use the same sensor. So if I buy more, that means I have to keep buying Chevy trucks or really GMC trucks too. I guess they work for both trucks. Problem is, I don't know if I'm going to keep buying Chevy and GMCs. I might switch over to maybe a Ram or Ford in the future. Most people know this, but independent front suspension. And if you watched the last video, you noticed on the 2500 you had 5 leads in the main pack. However, with this truck, you get 2 overload leaf springs because it's a 1-ton. And those are going to come in helpful when you have probably about 3,000 pounds of hitch weight. So they're not going to make contact today. Now on my truck, I do have some inputs for cameras for the trailer. I never use those because it's just too much to set up, unfortunately. They don't make it easy. And you have a backup camera and you have a light for your conventional hitch. That is going to be a class 5 2.5-inch opening. And if you get a gas truck from Chevy, 373 rear. And let's go ahead and open this. You know, this is power, but you have to stop it though, because unfortunately it may come into contact with your jack. So that's just something to consider. Let's go ahead and measure before I drop the weight down. Let's see what we got. So 42. We could use 42. Let's use 42 for this one. Let's go ahead and see how much it dropped. So, centered. Let's use 40 and 3/8. That's about where it's at. So it was 1.62. So I think the 3/4 ton dropped just under 2. I think it was like 1.88. And yeah, this truck didn't drop as much, but about the same if you think about it. Let's go ahead and reset trip number 1. Actually, you know what? Let's go in the same spot that we were in with the 2500. I want to try to make this as apples to apples as possible. But I have the trailer brake set. I think it's at 6.5. Yeah, 6.5. Yep, it's all good. I have my profile. On the dually, for some weird reason, it will not save the profile. Now, this is not the default profile, but for some weird reason, it saves on this truck, but on my dually it does not save. So we just started the truck back up again and it works. So I want to show this to you guys. So we do have 360 camera. On the dually we don't have that option. So you guys are going to see these camera views today. Actually, no, I'm not in drive. So yeah, you'll see in a second. But whenever you do the signal, it does give you more signal, okay? And I think it's like, what, 6 more clicks? Something like that. I just gotta check one last time all my connections here. We're all good. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. We're headed to the interstate right now. Just left the dealership. So I reset the trip 1, all that good stuff. The truck has kind of been doing a little bit better. I'm gonna close my sunroof because I want to use the AC, because that's what I did in the last video. So we're gonna use AC, same as we did last. Now, what I like about this truck is I have cooled seats. In that custom, you don't have those types of options. I believe it had heated seats. I also have to remind you that that truck was really light. It didn't have 4-wheel drive, and because it was a lower trim level, that truck was like about 1,000 pounds less than this one was. So just keep that in mind. But we're gonna go ahead and set up for the 0 to 60, and we're gonna get on the highway here. We're gonna see how this 10-speed and 6.6 gas is gonna do. Ready? Let's go. I don't know about you guys, but this got better. This got a lot better than the 6-speed. And I think somehow this truck has like a longer braking period. Like, it has 1,214 miles on it. That was a lot better than I expected. So I haven't done any wide open throttles yet with this truck. That was my first time with the trailer, that is, with the trailer. So wow, like, that wasn't bad. I'm actually really happy with that. Not bad. Was it 7 seconds and 7.2 seconds, whatever? I can't remember now. And I think 0 to 60 was like 20. I want to say that the 6-speed was either 9 seconds to 30. Something crazy. I don't think it was 7 seconds. Wow. I am really happy with this truck now. I'm really liking it now. I think it's still breaking in. That was really good. Now I gotta get a diesel and see how it does with 0 to 60, because I'm almost wondering if it won't be a huge difference. I mean, it will be a huge difference. It'll probably be a second less, maybe a second and a half, maybe in that ballpark. But, oh my goodness. When you just put this truck in 75 miles an hour, put it in cruise control, there's nothing better than HD. Let me show you guys where the RPMs are right now. So we're probably like in 7th gear. We're just kind of holding right there. What I love about the 10-speed, and you're gonna probably see this a few times, it does not gear hunt. Oh yeah, I gotta turn that radar cruise control off. I gotta turn it off, guys, because, you know, unfortunately, that's gonna get you worse fuel economy if you're like in this kind of traffic. But if you're at a area where you can go 75, 80 miles an hour consistently without people going so slow, you'll be fine. So now we're going up a grade. Here, I'm gonna go into manual mode. Okay. I think it was in 7th gear. It's 5th gear. Gotta get over, cars are going a little slow. That's still 5th gear. All right, it's starting to level off a little bit right now. Okay, that's probably 6th gear. Yeah, I wish that GM would give you what gear you're in. Like, that is so needed, because you can kind of learn how to lock out gears with that, man. I hate that they don't do that. My goodness, it is so annoying. I think we're in 6th gear, maybe 7th. I said we were in 7th gear earlier, but I think that was 6th. But yeah, we're going up a little bit more again. So we're just climbing, 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 climbing. And then we're gonna go down for like probably about a minute or so. But you guys see that? It's holding the gears. This is where the 10-speed wins. And really the truck's not that loud. It's not that loud. I actually have the cruise control at 66 miles an hour. So let me just go ahead and click it up. Oh wow, so we're probably in 4th gear. Okay. It's probably 6th gear. Yeah, it's so good. See, the steps are so close. And I feel like I have more power. Like, I don't know what happened. I'm still using 91. I know a lot of you guys are like, don't do it. I know what you guys are saying about the compression, things like that. I get it. But this engine has an ECU. It has an ECU. So it can adjust. Yeah, now we're going down. Oh my goodness, this is so much better than it was with the 6-speed. You know, listen, if you have the 6-speed, I'm talking to you right now, you're gonna want to upgrade. You're gonna want to upgrade. This is so much better. No gear hunting, that's gone. It's fixed. The power, I mean, maybe, you know, I said torque management because gas engines have low end torque. Like, so when you hit it, they do jump off the line a little bit faster. So it's possible that when you're under load, it unlocks. So maybe what I'll do is, maybe I'll put it in tow haul mode and do a 0 to 60 and see if that fixes the problem. Now again, I'm not trying to make this truck faster. I just was more concerned about towing a heavy load behind this truck with no power. That's what I was afraid of. I'm like, I don't care about speed. I just care about acceleration when I'm going up a 6% grade with 13,000 pounds behind me. That's the problem. It's not about going fast. Like, and I'm telling you, I can get a sports car if I want to, although, well, no, I can't really. Not right now, at least. But like, if I sold this truck, I could. But I don't want to go fast. I just want to make sure when I tow my 5th wheel, I have the power I need to go up a 6% grade. This makes me feel a lot more confident. Even going to that probably 4% grade there, I felt good. This is such a better performing truck. Love it. Oh, look at that transmission. Almost 200 degrees. Uh-oh. We putting this bad boy to work today. Oh, but that's not bad. 199 is still within operating temp. I want to say, you have to go back and watch my last video I did with the unloaded. I did a real fuel economy run, real world fuel economy run, and it showed what the temperatures were unloaded. But here's the tires. A little bit of weight back there, so the back tire is a little bit warmer. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this truck is performing. Now, this truck has the Goodyear Wranglers. They're not all the way maxed out at 80 PSI all around. I think the back ones are at like maybe, oh, maybe the back ones are at like 78 maybe. But the front ones are at like 70. So I probably need to up the air pressure there. Let's see where, oh yeah, you guys can see where we are for fuel economy, right? So we're at 6.4. We got like another 10 miles to go, I think, before the midpoint, and then we're gonna turn around. But yeah, we're just kind of humming along here. You can see right there. We're probably like in 7th gear again. But yeah, I'll check back in once we get to the midpoint, okay? I had said 10 miles, but I probably meant to say 1 mile because we're pretty much there, my bad. But yeah, this is where we got off at with the 2500. Let's see if you guys can see some of those downshifts. It is in tow haul mode, as you guys can see. Yep, no downshifts. It's okay though. That's the only thing bad about these gas trucks. Oh, I gotta stop. Darn. So I actually did stop here with the 2500, so this is pretty consistent. So here's where we are. 7.1, not bad. I'm going to show you guys some of the acceleration from 30. I'm not going to go wide open throttle, but I'll probably do about maybe 30 to 40% throttle here. So here we go. So the torque converter locks up really strong. I didn't mention that when we did that 0 to 60 run, you really could feel the torque converter lock up. Like, it is insanity. I'm gonna show you guys something real quickly here. That's what I love about the technology you have there. And when I hook up to my fifth wheel, you'll see the tire pressure monitoring when I set that up too with this truck. But yeah, this is really good. This is really good. Now, the only thing this truck has to do now is beat that 6-speed on MPG. Now, I mentioned him a lot, Matthew Anderson. He's like a gearhead when it comes down to transmissions, gear ratios, axle ratios, all that stuff. So he thinks that sometimes with more gears, you could get worse, and I'll have him explain it in the comment section. I'll pin it for you guys. But yeah, he thinks that sometimes with the 10 speeds, you know, they don't always give you better MPG because the 10th gear, the final gears, I guess, in the Allison 10 speed are about the same as what they are in a 6L90 6-speed. And so it actually makes a lot of sense. So the RPM is going to be about the same. They have the same axle ratios out back, which is the 373. So we'll see how all this shakes out when we get back to the dealer. Something else to consider, because the steps and the gear shifts are so close, it does hold the gears longer. So that does affect your fuel mileage too. So something you have to consider with this truck is really thinking about going no faster than 69 miles an hour. Like I'm going to go 75 because that's what I did with the 6-speed. So I'm going to try to make them pretty close. But I'm at 7 mpg, and I don't know, I think I ended off at what, 8.7? And I have to go up a really steep grade here in a little bit and go back down it. Now, going back down it might help me regain some of that MPG, but I'm still showing a consistent, well, no, it's showing 9 mpg, 10 right now. But no, here we go. We're about to go up right now, and then we're gonna go back down. So again, I'm gonna lose a little bit of MPG here. We're pulling back in right now. And I gotta admit something to you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did cheat a little bit with this truck. And the only reason why, I'm gonna make an excuse. This truck's 1,000 pounds heavier. 1,000 pounds heavier than that 2500. So here's where we are. And what I mean by I cheated was I actually did not use cruise control on the way back. So I stopped in the same spot last time right here. So 8.1, traveling 55.6 miles an hour, 28.7 miles. So here's the deal. It is a little bit cooler outside. I want to say when we did the test with the 2500, it probably was closer to 85 degrees outside. And that does work to the disadvantage of this truck. Now, granted, the air is cooler, but I do think that when it's a little bit warmer outside, they do get better fuel economy. So 8.1 versus, I think it was 8.7. I'll put it here in the video. You guys will see the chart. I'm actually happy with that. When I have done these tests in the past with the diesels, they're not much different. And I guess what I'll have to do is I'll have to find some diesels, either Ford, Duramax, or even the Ram Cummins, and see how they do towing this trailer. So stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys liked the video. 8.1 is actually really, really good for a gas engine. I mean, this is 9,000 pounds, and this is a lot of weight. And this trailer, historically, has just not done well for fuel mileage. Like, whenever I've had to tow this thing on the East Coast from Florida to Maryland, 8 miles per gallon is about what you're gonna get, even with a diesel. So I think with a gas truck, you'll probably get maybe about MPG worse than that. And that's okay because you save $10,000 up front by not getting a diesel.